Hello, every folks, and good morning. Welcome to a bit of a proposition I wanted to throw out there, as well as a quick little discussion on the differences between all of the other versions of Unicorn Overlord and the Switch version. So, interestingly enough, there is actually a very oddly specific difference between Switch and other consoles, and that is the save files. You see, the Switch version has technically a limit of 10 save files, with 9 of them being hard saves and 1 being an autosave. Now, the thing is, I tried checking to see if cloud support was there, and it's the demo, so they don't have cloud support yet. So I don't know how much that's going to work, but yeah, it's a limit of 9 saves. Now, for me personally, this is a little bit of an issue, because I like to do challenge runs. I like to hop between save files. I like to test things. And basically, we're kind of maxing out in terms of the number of files that I'd like to have around in order to go fiddle with stuff in this particular situation. So, I wanted to throw an opportunity out there for Atlus to just do the funniest thing imaginable here. And let me go ahead and show you what I mean. Alrighty, so let me explain something real quick here. So this is a PlayStation Vita. It is by far my favorite little travel buddy. It's a device that I've had in many different forms over the years. That typically is something I keep with me to go play some Tactics Ogre or Armored Core or something like that on the go, right? Now, in this particular case, you might be saying, okay, what's so special about a old handheld from like a decade ago, right? So here's the thing. Every time that I would use this thing for remote play, for example, to try out more of the Unicorn Overlord demo, I was noticing something. It would start searching nearby, it would try to find one, and if this goes on long enough, it will tell you about how it's checking the internet. Now, this made me think for a little bit of a complaint that I saw somebody have about the PlayStation Portal. Essentially a complaint stating that when they tried to use the PlayStation Portal with a hotspot, they were having an issue in which the resolution was simply too high for it to be able to maintain with just kind of its resolution was too high. It was too much data to be transferred around, and it was just generally having a hard time keeping up. So the other day, my wife wanted a chicken sandwich, and anyone that's ever been to Culver's will tell you that place has some long, long lines. They are never fast, quite frankly. But she wanted her grilled chicken sandwich, and dang it, I was going to get it. So, when I went over there, I was waiting and waiting and waiting, doing some Tactics Ogre as you do, and was noticing that, this potentially might be an opportunity. I might have the means to just go and, try out this feature. So I gave it a bit of a shot. I started up my phone's hotspot, I went ahead and, gave it a shot, and sure enough, it actually connected to our PS4 at home. Bear in mind, we were in nowhere with a fantastic signal. We were pretty darn far away from a lot of things, and, well, long story short, I was very impressed by this feature, because I've specifically been looking for a device that would allow me to play this thing on the go that is not a Switch Lite. While the Switch Lite would do the job, I should mention for context, by the way, I'm a dad of 3 and I work nights. So, whenever I'm doing stuff for this channel, typically it's during downtime, during work hours, or it's just during the occasional quiet moments here and there. Generally speaking, there isn't really a whole lot of in between to actually go and get stuff done. So, when it came to going and covering Unicorn Overlord, I was about to go get a Switch Lite and do that whole 30 seconds at a time recording method that's kind of awful. And if you're thinking, why don't I bring a Switch? It's because, just like the Lite in many ways, I don't really see it holding up to the rigors of being constantly carried in a pocket 24/7, basically. That's what I love about the Vita. It's small, it's durable, it's very compact, and nothing sticks out of it. So if, for example, I end up hitting my vest against a wall, if one of the kiddos decides to throw something at me, if I'm doing the dishes and a random bowl flips and I get dunked with water, I know the thing is going to be safe because it's compact and defensive enough that it's not an issue. Now, suddenly finding out that I can play this game miles away from the house whenever going and doing work or whatever else was a bit of an epiphany. So, I wanted to throw the opportunity out here for something particularly special. See, every other Vanillaware game has come out on the Vita to some extent. Grand Knights and stuff like that was on PSP, which you can get to run on this Vita. Everything like Aegis Rim and such is also similarly going to be available on this device. And at the same time, we have this one that again can now be played somewhat safely remotely. Now, to clarify, if you're wondering why I brought up the thing about the PlayStation Portal earlier, the reason is because the Portal actually has a bit of a downside that the Vita does not. And actually, it's something that's typically viewed as a downside of the Vita. Because technically, yes, it runs at a lower resolution, but due to that lower resolution, it doesn't take as much data to actually make remote play work at pretty low signal strengths. So, especially for a game like this, it ends up working out perfectly. Now, I wanted to throw out the opportunity for Atlus to do something hilarious here. See, this channel is pretty small. Primarily, we've been covering a lot of Tactics Ogre over here, and we've been covering Ogre Battle and things like that, but outside of direct remakes of those particular series, we're going to be a complete and absolute unknown to the powers that be here, especially at Atlus. I've been trying to reach out to the PR department there for quite a decently long time without any luck. So I wanted to, again, throw out the opportunity for something hilarious here. If they wanted to, if anyone at the PR department suddenly was interested, if you wanted to, for example, reach out on any of the platforms listed on the channel and offer a specifically PS4 review code, I promise to cover this thing exclusively on the Vita for at least a year, because frankly this is one of those games that I expect to cover for a very long time. Just like when I was given a chance to cover Tactics Ogre Reborn, it was a situation that I was going and covering that game for, basically since release. I'm still covering it. It's been almost 2 years, and that's still an ongoing project. Frankly, when it comes to a good SRPG, I am all over that mess in terms of breaking down every single little nitty-gritty detail, and I love all of the little details going on in this one. So, with that being said, if anyone's willing to be crazy enough to take me up on that offer, I would love to. Now, the last detail I didn't mention. You remember how I said earlier that there were 9 save files on the Switch? I kind of skipped the part where I explained why I love the PS4 version in this case. Because if I wanted to have more saves, there's 100 of them now. So it is quite literally 10 times the amount of saves, and, for that matter, 99 of them are usable rather than just 9. I don't know specifically why it is that it's handled in this particular way, but yes, there's 100 save files in the PS4 version, and for somebody that loves challenge runs like I do, who uses all of these different save slots like I do, that's pretty good stuff. So yes, again, if somebody at Atlus, which, bear in mind, I have been reaching out for months to every PR email I can get a hold of. As far as I'm aware, the PR department doesn't even have anyone staffing it, possibly. Maybe. I've heard a few mixed bags on that. But if anybody is willing to reach out from this department, if somehow you manage to see this by some absolute fluke, I don't know what you're doing here, but in case you happen to see it, I would like to go ahead and throw that offer out there. That again, I will exclusively cover this on the PlayStation Vita, of all things, for at least a year. All right, y'all have yourselves a good one. I'm hoping somebody will go ahead and give this a bit of a shot, because I'd love to give it a go. All right, see you then. Take care. Bye.